forgot to record. So basically, what we're doing is we're discussing the fictional racism case and the ChatGPT case today, and then afterwards we're gonna try to do a practice round on one of them. So for the ChatGPT case, all the questions are essentially the same, which is what should we consider when we develop ChatGPT? And one of the most important things that we need to consider is misinformation, this risk of misinformation, right? And then the other thing we need to consider is copyright. Wait, Lucas, can you man the camera so that this...
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's the exact
I'll
one.
just hold it.
Cool. Yeah.
So
It's just media, social and cultural impacts, and user concerns.
Yeah. Do you have your notes?
I have my notes, yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about like technological? What was the one about the sleepwalking?
Technical somnambulism.
Determinism. That one's good.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, 'cause our main theory that we're gonna use is what we call, it's called technological how do you pronounce it? It's hard to pronounce. Somnambulism.
Oh, somnambulism. Yeah.
Something like this. This is by. This is by Landon Winner. And basically, what he's been saying, this entire theory, is basically that while technology is being developed, we are sleepwalking. So basically, we're not actively taking part of the development of technology. And basically what he's basically saying is that when technology is being developed, as the consumer, we should be actively taking part and basically saying how this technology should be used and how it should be designed so that this technology is used in the correct format. This is a direct counter argument to what Marx called technological determinism, which is basically saying that technology determines how we change in a social way or in a cultural way. But however, a few counter arguments for this. The one is that basically, for example, let's say your surroundings, like let's say if you had a tunnel, for example, that was 2 meters tall, you're not going to be developing technology for like buses that are higher than 2 meters tall that can't go through this tunnel. This is one example of how your environment does change what technology is being developed. Also, for example, we have another example of technological determinism is things like Hiroshima with Hitler developing chemical weapons, things like this. It also shows that obviously with technological determinism, if we just let technology be used, this isn't necessarily going to be used correctly and in a good way, because we can obviously agree that nuclear bombs, chemical weapons that were used are not a good thing.
Yeah. So this is basically saying, right? Like, we don't control what technology does. In fact, the development of technology controls how we act, basically. So, for example, the development of the steam engine, right? The Industrial Revolution led us to behave in ways that are essentially bad. For example, colonizing Africa, right? That's all due to the technological development. So technological development can have an impact on how we act. And so we need to consider how ChatGPT might impact how we act in the future. Basically, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is basically saying that the theory for this is that we shouldn't care about technology and just let it develop. But what Landon Winner is saying is that basically we should care about how the technology develops, because to an extent, we do determine what type of technology is developed. And if we let technology develop by itself out of control, my basic theory is that ChatGPT can be basically weaponized.
Look who decided to turn up.
For what?
Okay.
So especially for things like misinformation, for things like copyright, even because right now ChatGPT is just a language engine. But once it can consider things like tactical strategies, other things that AI might use, misinformation, how it creates propaganda, ChatGPT can become from simply a thing produced to just give you information to a thing used to purposely create bias, for governments to purposely create propaganda and to weaponize AI. And so what we should be doing here is basically what moral factors should we consider? Well, that's up to us, but obviously we do want to consider things to make sure that AI is used in an appropriate manner. Basically.
Okay. So basically we have like these two theories that we can use, right? Somnambulism means technologically sleepwalking. And then technological determinism means how technology determines how we behave. And then this one is Wei Qinghao. Are they contradictory in any way?
Not really, except this one supports us. This one's saying that we are currently following this, and that we shouldn't follow this, is basically what it's saying.
Right.
So what
We
what-
should sleepwalk.
So what technological determinism is saying is that we should sleepwalk. Basically what it's saying is that we can't get out of the sleepwalking state. What technological somnambulism is saying is that we are sleepwalking, it's possible for us to get out of the sleepwalking state, but we choose not to, and we should get out of the state.
Right. So if we pick technological somnambulism as our main theory, then we're going to say that we need to consider stuff more.
Yes, basically.
And what kind of stuff will we?
I mean, because obviously, for us here, things like obviously we have obviously things already like misinformation, but we also have things like how a thing is. It's because this is mostly talking about how, as a consumer should be directly communicating with a designer to make sure that things are used appropriately. So this thing goes for everything from education, media, copyright, stuff like that.
Right.
This all goes under technological somnambulism.
Because the question is only asking what should we consider. Right?
Yes.
Can
And based
that
and
affect-
So essentially, the first theory,
it's basically saying that we should basically consider everything.
so it favors the argument between the New York Times and the court, whereas in the second one, it's kind of saying we don't care.
Yeah.
Shut up. Okay.
And this is what obviously the other team might bring up, like saying, oh, we don't care about how jobs are replaced. Oh, we don't care about misinformation because economically it's gonna change the world. It's gonna make the world for the better. Obviously, this isn't always true, and therefore we should consider how it's used.
Okay.
Yeah, because basically the main theory is that social adhesion it's like misinformation, the use of ChatGPT in things like politics and how it might create bias, copyright, more political bias.
Okay, guys. So I want you guys to be a little involved here. So it's like, if technology does affect our lives and we're actually controlled by technology, what sort of stuff does it affect us in? For example, we can say that it affects our international relations. For example, like how the development of technology during the Industrial Revolution led Europe to colonizing Africa and for new markets, right? What other sort of considerations do we need to make? For example, education is one. What else, guys?
I also wanted to say that you also want to consider how it's not only just misinformation, but also what kind of information presents. For example, if ChatGPT was to tell you how to create a gun, how to kill yourself.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's informational. Wait. What was that called again? Like informational dangers?
I don't know. There's something for it.
Yeah. Like ChatGPT can tell you very dangerous information, basically.
And obviously, we don't want to tell normal people, this is how you make a bomb.
Right.
This is how you suicide bomb. This is how you become terrorist.
What about the accessibility problem? Do we?
I mean, because with ChatGPT, with the internet being so worldwide, the accessibility problem isn't a problem if we can control what information it produces.
Because like allegedly, I have.
I mean,
Yeah.
the accessibility problem may be a problem, but I just ChatGPT is so well known now. It's not too much of a problem.
Okay. So here are some things that we should probably consider, right? So first, we can't give ChatGPT cannot evolve to give any biased opinions, right? Everyone agree with that? Because politics, if ChatGPT is gonna give you like far right information every time, that's gonna result in political bias. And that's ChatGPT weaponized for political propaganda, right? So we can't do this, right? Another thing is we can't have informational risks. For example, ChatGPT can't tell you how to make a nuclear bomb or how to make like napalm, because otherwise you're gonna go and do it. You might go and shoot up a school. Okay, maybe you can search stuff like that. But like, ChatGPT itself shouldn't encourage this sort of thing, right? That's already enough to talk about, in my opinion. Yes? Yeah.
Correct me if I'm mistaken, but
Turn.
My bad.
does ChatGPT gather information from what's uploaded to the internet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because from there, wouldn't it like give you the collective opinion or the like majority opinion or
It can do that, but ChatGPT can also filter out certain things, right? It filters out things based on its program. So it can definitely give you.
By can't, we mean it shouldn't. Like currently, it maybe if you look hard enough, maybe you can get ChatGPT to tell you how to make napalm, but we believe in a world in which it can't.
Yeah, we believe in a world where it shouldn't be able to do things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, Chinghao, anything else?
Also, this is what he said. Basically, because ChatGPT is trained on the internet, it also might give false misinformation.
Right, misinformation.
Misinformation.
Yeah, misinformation.
Just things that aren't true and that can be dangerous as well.
Yeah. So these are three really good points. That's pretty good. Misinformation. Is there anything more to be said about misinformation? How should we prevent stuff like that? Yeah.
Google says there's 3 types of these hallucinations. Number 1 is an incorrect prediction. You have it when it says like something will happen when it's actually unlikely to happen. For example, you have like ChatGPT says tomorrow it's gonna rain, but like on the weather forecast there's no rain. That's like false information. Number 2 is a false positive. And thinks something is bad when it's actually not.
But why is this morally not good?
I'm just giving examples. Bro.
Yeah, I know. But like, why is misinformation morally unacceptable? Right.
I think it violates all of the models, like the basic
It
ethics.
violates
model.
our right to choose,
violates,
right? Because consent needs us to have accurate information about things, right? And so if
Yes.
we're going to vote if we're going to vote while misinformed, we're not going to be consenting actually to anything because we haven't had the accurate information to be able to consent. And so misinformation is bad because in order to consent, we need accuracy.
On another point is also you can talk about social adhesion, right?
Social adhesion.
Like, if you have 2 very different sides of information, somebody who believe, like, for example, the COVID vaccine protesters, that is like an obvious sign of how misinformation caused the opposite of social adhesion, right?
Right. It causes.
And so if we want society to be cohesive, we want ChatGPT to give accurate and unbiased information to make sure that everyone still agrees with each other and can cooperate.
It causes conspiracy. Like misinformation causes conspiracies that are targeted to like.
Especially if it's combined with political bias.
Yeah.
It's just bad utilitarian. It's
Yeah.
bad consequence.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have a pretty good understanding of the ChatGPT case. Can someone tell me the time?
You have like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Should we go like?
Okay, I'll talk about the fictional racism case now. Okay, so everybody, if you didn't take notes, you can rewatch the video before the Olympiad. But anyways, the fictional racism case is a very, very difficult case, right? Do you have the cases?
Yeah.
Can I see? It's basically asking, right? In fiction, there are races that are inherently evil. They're designed to be evil, and they serve a purpose, right? They serve metaphorical purposes. Okay, so it's like, in Lord of the Rings, the orcs, they represent like a dark side of human nature or something. Maybe they don't, maybe they do. Okay, but they're supposed to just be evil, and that's their character, and that represents something. That shows us something, right? And so, is that allowed? Is it allowed to have a race that's just evil inherently? Okay, and so. That's the first question. Is it morally acceptable to have an evil race? And that's probably the most important question. The other two are if a trope such as the evil race is fundamentally part of a novel or fundamentally part of a game, should the game remove it, right? The third part is if races in fiction are all for metaphorical purposes, does it justify does it justify the evil race? So basically, it's the same question, right? So is it allowed? Is it morally acceptable to have these evil races? And this is how I would approach the question. So basically, there are two sort of definitions for races, right? The first is how you categorize humans, right? If you say like Africans and Asians are different races, then that's the first, you're going by the first definition of a race, which is subcategories of humans. And humans really shouldn't be categorized this way because all humans are essentially the same. You know, Kant defines a human by saying a human is anything with the same transcendental aesthetics as us, the same way of perceiving the world. Right? A bat is not a human because a bat can have echolocation, whatever, and we can't. We'll never know what it's like to be a bat, but we can know what it's like to be another human. And we know for a fact that not all humans are born evil, right? That's Locke-Tábula Rasa. It means the blank slate. You can say Locke says that all humans are born blank. We're not born anyway. We're not born evil. But the second definition of a race is anything that's a humanoid creature. So orcs can be a race, elves can be a race. They're not human, okay? And if they're not human, we can't know for sure if they're born evil or not, okay? So if they're not human, we're not upsetting any moral rules here because morals, according to Kant, only apply to moral subjects. And we are the moral subjects. We can argue this, or we can argue that, you know, all animals are moral subjects. However, if we argue that only humans are moral subjects, and that aliens have their own modes of reasoning, and we can't reason with them because they have their own modes of reasoning, then we can say that yeah, it's fine to say aliens are subhuman and that they're just evil. You know, if they set out to destroy us, then to us they are evil. Okay, they're evil. But we can't say that a human race is inherently evil because we know for a fact that not all humans are born evil, right? But if we don't know what's going on in the other race, in the other biological race, then we might be able to say, yes, an evil race is allowed if it's biologically different. But if we're biologically all humans, you know, obviously not, right? So that's basically that's the basic argument. Does everyone get it? It's like if it's biologically a human, no fictional race. But no fictional racism. But if it's biologically different, then sure. But there's always a counter argument, which is to say that all animals are actually moral subjects, right? Because animals feel pain the same way that humans do, or they claim to be. Anyways, if we say that a moral subject is okay, so how do you define evil, right? This is the first step. How do we define evil? Evil is doing pain onto a subject while knowing you're doing pain onto a subject, right? Now, a subject is just anything that can feel pain. Can you do evil onto a rock? No, you cannot, because the rock cannot feel pain. But can you do evil onto a bird? You can feel pain. Yes, and if you do pain onto a bird, then you'd be evil, right? And so, in this case, all animals and all of these humanoid creatures, if they can feel pain, are equal moral subjects. And so, in the same way, they qualify on equal grounds as humans, right? But does that really, okay, so that's the counter argument, that they qualify on the same grounds as humans. But we can respond to this by saying, okay, but does that really mean they're not evil? Just because they're moral subjects doesn't mean they're not evil, right? And so, can we argue that? Does anybody have an idea? So they're also moral subjects.
Bit of lore clarification. The orcs in 40K, they desire war. Like that is their only desire, is to fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty clear cut.
Oh, okay. Well, is it okay for them to be designed that way? Is it okay to design a race that's only born to fight?
Yeah.
It's not okay if it's human. We know how humans act. but it is okay if it's biologically different because you're just making shit up. Okay, that's it. That's the conclusion.
Brings up the
yeah,
Spartans.
wait, you're right. What am I thinking, bro? Okay, yeah, it's just, is it okay to design a race who all they want to do is cause harm and destruction, right? You can't say black people, all the black people want to do is harm and destruction. Definitely not, right? Because, they're humans, we know what they want. Anyways, we get the idea. We get the idea. Okay, so in the last, how many minutes do we have? 8 minutes? That's great. Can we do a little discussion?
Right. Like one last thing for me. I know I've been like yapping, but like, what if the opposing team brings up something that's on like a different dimension of arguing, like sociological impacts of designing fiction? Because then like we can't build on their case with like the definition of race and whatnot, because we're considering the morality of creating a fictional racist, like a fictional race.
They would only bring up sociological things if we're talking about humans in particular, right? Because society is something real.
No. As in a little kid's reading about the orcs, and he's thinking, what if black people are just orcs? And he applies this metaphor, and then society falls apart because of it. Like, I know it probably isn't gonna happen, but what if they argue like the impacts towards society?
I think we can simply
That's
argue.
a far stretch.
No, but okay.
If we can just say like D&D, because if we are capable of saying, okay, because what age do people start playing D&D at? Like at least like an older age, right? Even if you have fictional characters, even if they may be racist, right? One is that this is small proportion. Two is that they can easily grow out of this. Because it's from a game. Like,
Alright.
how much impact will a game have on your life? Crazy.
We're not like
Right.
apart from games, contextually, a large part of the propaganda that the KKK put out was they created a part black, part monkey race, and used that as completely evil. And in New Zealand, in our country, they created a part octopus, part Chinese man race.
Right, that's a good point, okay?
That-
So maybe the condition here is that the fictional race cannot bear any resemblance to any race in real life.
Yeah.
Okay?
That could work, yeah.
Bro, you can't say that. Why is it okay for him to say that black people aren't murderers, but I can't say Kabir isn't fat?
Hey,
Well,
don't mention
whatever.
names.
Maybe
my bad.
discussion today. That's fine. We got through both cases. Hopefully this helps. You can end the video now.